Hi there, John Gaskins for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com, working with Big Red Report. Husker basketball. It looks like the coaching staff is finalized, although Tim Miles has not made the official announcement. It's well documented that the staff is rounded out, and the last slot that was open, as of late last week, was either for one of the assistants on the bench or director of player development. It looked as though Erick Strickland, the former Husker, might have a shot at the director of player development role. He wanted an office for any sort in the Hendricks complex. He had such passion this past year about Nebraska basketball. He said during the final couple months of the season he'd love to be the head coach if presented the opportunity. Look what Fred Hoiberg was doing at Ohio State. But he'll take any job on the staff because he bleeds red, and it has saddened him how sad the program has become since his days on Nebraska teams that made NCAA tournaments and won Big 8 tournaments. Well, Strickland is not going to get his wish after lots of public campaigning. He went to an AAU tournament in Minneapolis where the Huskers and the already hired assistants went to. He went to a fundraising event in Omaha on Monday night, was pictured with Tim Miles, who said to the Omaha World Herald that night, Erick Strickland is definitely a candidate for the final spot. But Strickland learned late last week he wasn't going to get it, and that Nebraska basketball was going with Chris Harriman, a St. Louis assistant who had some serious recruiting ties overseas. And that's what stopped it for Erick Strickland. No coaching experience, and the recruiting ties he claims to have had certainly didn't impress Tim Miles enough. He wanted his own guy. I think Miles has the right to hire his own staff. He's not screwing around. He wants guys who have ties to anywhere he wants to get players, and he just didn't think Erick Strickland had that experience. A lot of Husker fans a little upset that Strickland, nor Teron Lue, nor Eric Piakowski, some great from Nebraska, good days of basketball, isn't on this staff. A guy like Darren Erstad, who's coaching the Husker baseball team. Somebody you can say this has been done before at Nebraska. And oh, by the way, I've played at the highest level. You can come to Nebraska and you can make it there too. It would have been great to have Erick Strickland doing this or doing this sometime in the future. It certainly wouldn't have hurt the Huskers. I think it would have been a good hire. But Tim Miles has every right to hire who he wants to hire that's going to advance the program where it needs to advance, which is off the Big Ten basement. We wish Erick Strickland the best, and hopefully someday he can come back as a Husker. In fact, he told the Ticket Morning Show today he'll take a job in the Nebraska athletic department somehow, some way, just to be near that complex, near that basketball court, raising money and morale for Husker hoops. You can catch that interview, by the way, on our website, theticketfm.com, under podcasts. Erick Strickland is always a good interview, and that's why he is so likable and beloved by Husker fans throughout this whole process. For 93.7 The Ticket, I'm John Gaskins, and for BigRedReport.com.